it's Clyde at Vibrant Soap, and today I'm going to include in my video how I mix my colors. People have been asking about that. It's not really the color tutorial yet. I am working on that. That's pretty involved because, I went to art school for many years to try to understand color theory, and it's not an easy subject actually. To do it properly, you'd have to go back to the color wheel and the primary colors, tertiary colors, all that to really understand how colors mix and become other colors. So I'm going to try to do a good job for you and prepare well for that. But in the meantime, I'm going to be working on this challenge that Elaine, my pal Elaine on Facebook, found this picture of this amazing sky. It's rainbow in hues, but it's not the typical arch. It's just scattered through the sky, and it's pretty amazing. So I have been thinking about for the last couple of days how to do, what kind of technique I would need to do this sort of striated, colorful sky. And I think you'll like what we have in store for you. So stay tuned and I'll show you how. This is not so much a tutorial on colors. I've got to prepare for that. It's kind of difficult to teach that because to do that properly you'd have to go back to the primary colors and the color wheel and things like that. So I am preparing that because I want to do a good job for you. But this is kind of what I do. I'm looking at this picture of this sky that Elaine sort of challenged us to do on Facebook, and I'm looking at it very carefully, and there's a sort of turquoise but sort of a green, and what I'm doing so I can replicate that, and kind of for example, this deep mandarin is I took some tomato red, relay race red, and orange rainbow mica to give this sort of unique color that I thought I saw in the picture. So it's almost like a kind of like a vermilion. So that's what it is. So then here's my purple, and sometimes it's thicker. As long as it's going to be able to be blended with my soaps, that's okay. I added some olive oil. And I want a really kind of creamy yellow, so that one is the yellow rainbow, or rainbow yellow mica mixed with some titanium green. This is Clean Your Room green mixed with some coral reef mica to make a little more of an aqua green. So this is just a little bit of how I mix my colors, and you'll see the video and what happens when I add it to the soap mix. Okay, so this time I've already blended my soap, and I'm going to fill these little things up because it has no fragrance in it yet. I didn't want these to have fragrance because I want them to move slower. I'm starting off by pouring my smaller portions. I'm going to be using a lot more yellow. As I look at the picture, it gets its brightness from the yellow, and it's not a intense yellow. It's a whitened yellow, so it's brighter. So if you're looking at something very colorful, it's probably a good idea to look at each color individually instead of looking at it as a whole, to get your colors down pat. I wanted it more of a contrast behind all the colors I'm going to be using. I'm going to have to remember that I'm going to have 12 bars, and that's why I kind of marked this so I could gauge actually where this is all going, and that's not a very good indication of what I'm after. because it's just the bottom. See, I think about the colors that aren't even going to be seen because the brighter colors are going to be on top, but in painting it does make a big difference sometimes because it may illuminate the paint on the surface. This is fragranced with almost half and half mixture of lemon and lavender flowers, and it's a lavender that doesn't accelerate. Unfortunately, my blender will not fit in these little cups, so I'll just have to spend some time stirring it well. Okay, so the way I'm going to disperse this is by lighter colors on the left of each of these sections. So I'll show you what I mean by that. If there's 4 in each row to make my 12, then I'm gonna drop down some yellow on the left side of each of those. And then purple. Almost lost my blue. I'm gonna just dribble. Time to be Jackson Pollock. Get my dark blue. Green. The green I'm going to kind of put a little bit on the bottom of each one of these. And finally, my light blue. Okay, and as I said, I want to reserve some of this yellow to kind of just dribble on top of this. I don't want to cover up the colors. That looks good to me. Okay, so I'm going to start using these, and what I'm going to do is sort of blend these out to the right. What I didn't put in was my red, so that's another thing that was sort of dominant in there. And I'm going to drop that up in the top area. One more time with this. I'm going to do more of a zigzag. Looks like I can still play around with that a little bit. You know I'm making this up as I go along, most of it. I need some more purple in there. I think I know how I'm going to do that. I'm going to take some fuchsia glitter, since that color kind of fizzled out, and then some iridescent over the whole thing. I always think that when I design soaps this way, if you saw my cranberry fig one, it looks really busy, but when you think of cutting that into the smaller bars, it somehow it's less busy when you have the small bar. So this is, I'm calling this Sunburst, and we'll see how that looks when I cut it tomorrow. A humongous Dexter knife, it's so dangerous, to score this soap before I cut it. Again, I don't use this knife for cutting the soap usually because it's got a wedge here that would split it. It might be okay, but I don't want to take any chances. Soap is a little on the soft side. You know, that's fine. Let that slide out. Sure makes things easier if I can do it that way. I've pre-marked the paper. To help me with the cuts. So let's take a look at one of these. Let's separate them out and clean them up and put them at the end of this video.